Yeah, I said this is the last one. Who cares? I can talk about double D's if I want to. Hello name nerds, my name is Patrick and welcome to the final ever Fun with First Names video, where we look at the meaning, origin and some extra fun facts behind one specific first name. And for this final ever video, we are looking into the name of Patrick. Though, as always, I need to say a huge thank you to my most recent patrons and super thanks leavers. So a huge thank you to new patron Alabala and a super thanks from Shrugs the Straight Faced Clown. Great name there. These are the best ways to help financially support Name Explain. If you want to donate monthly, go leave a Patreon donation. My mind's all over the place at the moment, clearly. Go leave a Patreon donation at patreon.com/Name Explain. Just $1 a month gets you ad-free videos, exclusive content, a chance to say what names are explained here on the channel, and many other benefits. Or if you want to just donate one time, make a one-time donation to the channel, you can leave a super thanks down in the comments of these videos. Cool? Cool. Anyway, on with today's name of Patrick. And Patrick is actually a name of Latin origins, not Irish origins, as many people think it might be. That isn't the case at all. It derives from the Latin name of Patricius or Patricius, depending on how those pesky Romans pronounce their C's, we aren't entirely sure. And this means nobleman or father. This is why the name Patricius or Patrick sounds so similar to other noble or fatherly based words, like how the upper classes of a Roman society were called the Patricians, or even words like paternal or patricide, which means killing your dad, which, you know, probably don't do that. Also things like patriarchy, just parent in general. If you look at other words for father, things like pater is pater Dutch or German? I can't remember, but you'll notice that it sounds very similar to all those kinds of names. That's because of its origins in Latin. This Latin name was then adapted from Latin into English as Patrick. One of the great things about the name Patrick is all the different nicknames that can derive from it. You got things like Pat, but also Patty, but you also have things like Rick and Ricky too. Like the Pat and Rick aspects of it just gives you a ton of options in regards to nicknames. Though what is quite possibly the most well-known of nickname for Patrick has to be Paddy. Though as well-known as this nickname of Paddy is, it's a little bit strange to say the least. And the strangest thing about this name is those D's in the middle, that big double D in the middle. Yeah, I said this is the last one. Who cares? I can talk about double D's if I want to. This is the only place where we talk about double D's here on Name It, so I have to admit, this is getting strange. Let's carry on. So yeah, like the double D in the middle of Paddy, like there isn't a D in Patrick anywhere. Like, how did we come to have those big old double D's there? Gosh, that's weird. Well, that Latin name of Patricius didn't just get translated into English. The name of Patricius in Latin got adapted into many different languages around Europe, like we have it in French as Patrice, and the Spanish form of the name Patricio. Most noticeably, however, was how this Latin name was changed in the Irish language. In Irish, that Latin name of Patricius was translated into Padraic. This name of Patrick / Padraic is of course still very much linked with Ireland to this day. I went to Ireland a few years back and I was just overwhelmed by the amount of other Patricks I came across and interacted with. I've been like, my people, I finally found my people. They were there, like I was at an airport. And someone's like, can Patrick so-and-so come to the certain desk? And I was like, oh my God, like I've never heard my name said over a tannoy like that. Very weird. You don't get many Patricks in England, but they're plentiful in Ireland, thankfully. And I'm sure you noticed that the name Padraic, unlike Patrick, does actually contain a D in it. So what you can probably gather is that Paddy isn't actually a shortening of the name Patrick. It's actually a shortening of the name Padraic, which of course aren't the same name, just different translations of the name. So it kind of is a shortening of Patrick, but also more specifically a shortening of the Irish form of Padraic. Paddy is basically the Irish form of the nickname of Patty. Patty obviously has the double T's in it, whereas Patrick only has one T in it, whereas Padraic only has one D in it, whereas Paddy has those double D's. We're back to talking about the double D's. Gosh. Strange. But as this name has become so linked with Ireland, it appears that the Paddy nickname has sort of crossed over into the Patrick English language form of the name as well. Paddy has become a shortening of Patrick despite the fact it comes from a different name evidently. What probably helped spur this on must have been the nickname for St. Patrick's Day of St. Paddy's Day, as St. Paddy's Day has become so popular around the world under that name. While it's also known as St. Patrick, the two have just become somewhat intermixed. So technically, Paddy isn't actually a nickname of Patrick, it's a nickname of Padraic, but still, That seems like a fitting name to end Fun with First Names on, I feel. Don't you think? But just personally anyway. Patrick is the 218th most popular boy's name in the USA. It's great to see it on the rise like that. And here in the UK, it's the 125th most popular boy's name. So I think Patrick's going places. Maybe a certain famous Patrick has influenced people to name their children Patrick. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe I'm being too egotistical there. I don't know. Famous Patricks include, of course, Patrick Stewart, the famous sci-fi / thespian actor. He does loads of Shakespeare stuff. You might know him as Professor X. You might know him as Picard. He's great, evidently. He's a very, very much beloved figure here on the internet and in the world. But there's also Patrick Warburton. He is an American actor. And I don't really know what his defining role is. I think a lot of people will probably most likely know for voicing Joe Swanson in Family Guy, but he does all kinds of stuff. He appears in bits and bobs. He's got that really funny, great. He's just got a terrific voice.
I'll give you that one.
I could listen to his voice all day, every day. I think he might have been in Seinfeld for a couple episodes. I've never watched Seinfeld, but I think he's known for that as well. And for old time's sakes, I have to mention a wrestling Patrick. And the one that came to mind for me was Pat McAfee, who was actually a former NFL player, but he's actually had quite a resurgence in pro wrestling as well. Wherever are Patricks. Is there another famous Patrick? Another worthwhile Patrick I should be mentioning? Maybe. I don't know. Someone else might be coming to mind for you. But anyway, that's just about everything you guys need to know about the name Patrick. But what are your thoughts on this name? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you know anyone with the name Patrick? Are you called Patrick yourself? Let me know down in the comments below. I want to hear from my fellow Patricks. And of course, I want to share some of your thoughts on last week's name of Kirby. Garnet2005 said, I had a colleague whose last name was Kirby. He was red-haired, ruddy-skinned and round-faced. The kids thought it was funny that he kind of looked like the video game character and would bring him Kirby toys. He had quite the collection. It was cute. That is so cute, especially as if he was cool with it. Don't make fun of people's names unless they're cool with it, I guess. It's a weird thing having a name really linked with a fictional character. Obviously, my own name, Patrick Star, I got that quite a lot, but I loved SpongeBob as a kid, so that was good with me. There was also this really weird niche British film called Thunderpants about a kid. I'm not making this up. It was about a kid who did really big farts and it ended up controlling a rocket ship. Spoilers for Thunderpants. It had Rupert Grint in it as well as his best friend. But the main kid in that was called Patrick Smash. So yeah, I had for some time in my childhood, my name was linked with a kid who did really big farts in a film. So that wasn't as great. Michael Turner 2806 said, no mention at all of the vacuum cleaner brand. In the early 1900s, Jim Kirby iterated on the idea of an electric vacuum-powered carpet cleaner device that later became known as the Kirby Vacuum. It was one of the top brands of vacuums, at least in the USA, utilising a direct sales method of door-to-door salesmen instead of relying on big stores for distribution. No, I forgot to mention that, so that seems to be very much an American thing. We kind of have our own vacuum cleaner name synonymousness going on in the UK with Hoover, everyone calls vacuum cleaners Hoovers, but that Hoover's only one brand. And that appears to be somewhat the case here with Kirby in the USA. And of course that fits with the character of Kirby, who was known for sucking things up. But no, apologies for not mentioning it, but I mentioned it now. And finally, Sabet Hassajan 5564 said, please make more videos like this. I'm a newbie and loving it. Well, that's awkward, isn't it? This is literally the final ever Fun with First Names video. And that's the message I get. Wow. Sorry about that, mate. There's loads of old videos on the channel and there's more videos coming up, but what a time to leave that comment. I thought that was a fitting final sort of comment from you guys to send you guys off with Fun with First Names. And there we have it. Just short of 3 years since the first ever Fun with First Names video came out. I'm wrapping up this series. Thank you so much to everyone who has watched and enjoyed. This series was my first sort of big foray into being on camera more often. And if you go back and look at that first ever Fun with First Names video, it was so bad. I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I hope I've become a bit more comfortable on camera. We've changed location. That used to be shot in a basement, now shot in my actual office here. The format's changed quite a bit. All kinds of stuff has happened. Let me know your favourite Fun with First Names video that has happened so far. And just once again, This series has never been like the pillar of Name Explain. It's always been kind of a series I intended for people who really enjoy the channel to watch and follow, and there's been such a great build-up of community on these videos in particular. So many like reoccurring names in the comment section. I always see those of you who really care about Name Explain enough watch these videos, and I really appreciate that. And apologies if you're upset that Fun with First Names is going. Its replacement will be talked about next week. That's all I'll say for now, but there's some really exciting stuff on the horizon for the channel, and I'm not going anywhere. Like this, you're still gonna be seeing me on camera, still gonna be other animated videos, and I guess most importantly, Amber, who's behind the camera, she isn't going anywhere either. She's far too important to this whole operation to go anywhere anytime soon. Sorry about that, mate. So anyway, that's more than enough for myself. Once again, thank you for enjoying Fun with First Names, however many you watch, if you watch them all, if you just watch the occasional one, if you just watch this one for some random reason. But of course, don't forget to go follow me on Instagram, why I'm Name Explain YT, and don't forget to go join the Facebook group Friends of Name Explain, where you can chat with myself and many other name nerds. Okay all, take care. I'm not crying, you're crying. I'm not emotional over ending Fun with First Names. No, that's you. We're recording. Yes. Final ever Fun with First Names video. Well, for now, maybe it might come back in some way, shape or form. I don't know. Should we do it? Fun with First Names video. And this week, wait, what do I say here? I think I should know this by now. I've got a cough. Is the way it can be. Let's check them. Drop my phone. Well, that Latin name of Patricius didn't. Let's try again. In Irish, Patricius. You feel better to say my own bloody name, wouldn't you, Amber? I thought I had stopped recording. Did I?